It's the most tremendous new musical experience you can have.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Logan, and I'm here bringing y'all this review to this newest surprise drop that we got. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Lil Uzi Vert's Eternal Atake. Now, this is one we've been waiting for a while. He said he was going to drop it like hundreds of days ago. Finally came out by surprise. He had been teasing it all week on Twitter. We thought it was coming in a couple of weeks. Boom, drops this past Friday. And let me just say, I was very excited for this one. I love what Uzi's done in the past with Love is Rage 2. Lil Uzi Vert vs. the World, all that stuff. Love his music. I think it's very enjoyable, very fun. I enjoy his rapping along with his singing on the projects and the just the general flavor that he brings to his music. I think it's a lot of fun to listen to, and overall I think he makes solid projects. Now going into this one, 18 tracks, 2 of them being bonuses, the singles that we heard before this, that being That Way and Futsal Shuffle 2020. Both of those songs being really good songs. The rest of the project was pretty much unheard of, and good. Very good. 62 minutes, a little bit long for a more trap type project, but I very much enjoyed it. Like I said, this was a surprise drop, and my God, was it a great way to surprise us. I started off the day listening to Megan the Stallion's project, and then I planned to move to Jadakiss' album, but about halfway through that Megan project, I realized it was horrible. 2, I realized, dang, Uzi dropped. So, boom, went straight to that. I did get to the Jada album, and I will be dropping a review for that later, but went straight into this and could not stop listening to it for the rest of the weekend. I very much enjoyed this project. Now, it is broken up into sections. This has been confirmed by Uzi on Twitter. The sections including the Baby Pluto section, the Renji section, and the Uzi section. So I'm going to talk about it in sections. The first section, again, being Baby Pluto, consists of the intro track Baby Pluto, Low Main, Silly Watch, Pop, You Better Move, and Homecoming. This section is a lot more rap heavy, and out of the 3 sections, it is my least favorite. Again, I do like Uzi's rap style, but I like him more when he's being a little bit more experimental, and I like it when he's singing on his tracks more. When he's being a little bit more sad, I like his hype tracks, but they're not my favorites, and they don't make for the most interesting projects per se. That being said, I very much enjoyed the first 3 tracks, Baby Pluto being my favorite from this section. I thought it was a great way to intro the album, especially having that otherworldly feel, being that Eternal Atake is supposed to be like another planet or whatever. I very much enjoyed that. Low Main was hype, although the beat was a little bit just basic, and then same thing with Silly Watch. Very enjoyable tracks, but the beats were very basic, minimalistic, and not very enjoyable. Pretty bass heavy, which was fun, but overall pretty disappointing. And then you get into songs like Pop, You Better Move, and Homecoming, which were very just run-of-the-mill, generic rap songs that if the rest of this project would have sounded like that, I would have been very disappointed. Luckily, they do not, as we get to the Renji section with songs such as I'm Sorry, Celebration Station, Bigger Than Life, Chrome Heart Tags, Bust Me, and Prices. Now this is a much better section, especially starting with the song I'm Sorry, where he starts singing a lot more. It gets a little bit of that sad vibe going, but not too much, and it's just a very enjoyable track. Following that up with Celebration Station, Bigger Than Life, and Chrome Heart Tags, where they just, again, continue that trend of being a little bit more experimental, a lot more easy to listen to, a lot more singing on it, and again, I very much enjoy his singing voice. The only track that I didn't enjoy that much to begin with out of this section is Prices, but much like the rest of this album, it did grow on me. Again, the only songs that haven't really grown on me the more I've listened to this album were Pop, You Better Move, and Homecoming, as they just continue to be that minimalistic, just not that enjoyable, generic rap. But even Prices, you know, he has that section where he goes with his baby voice over the hook, where he's like, I just went up in my price. Yeah, you know, it goes like that. A little bit annoying the first time, but it does kind of come around on you after a little while. At least that's what it did to me. But overall, a lot more experimental with the beats here, a lot more singing on there, a lot easier to listen to, a lot easier to vibe with, and yeah, just an enjoyable section. Then he comes comes with my personal favorite section, the Uzi section, where he has the song Urgency featuring Sid, which I did very much enjoy that song. Venetia, which is a great track. Secure the Bag, which kind of comes and goes. It's not my favorite out of the section, but again, it is not a bad track at all. And then my favorite song on this entire album, P2. Now, this is the only song that I'm really going to break down here, but with P2, he takes the exact beat from EXO Tour Life, and raps over it again. Was not necessary. Is it as good as the first version? No, it is not. But dang, I very much love this song. I love it. Brings that same vibe, brings that same energy, just in a new and renewed way, kind of. Again, not as good as the original, but very good track. Very good way to end this project, even though we do have 2 more songs after this. Again, great way to overall end the project. I will talk a little bit about the singles. Again, we've heard them, but Futsal Shuffle 2020 comes right after that as the first of the bonus tracks, and I very much enjoyed this song. I enjoyed it the first time I listened to it. It got a little old as it was overplayed that first day. At least that's what I did anyways, but still, great track, very hype, very fun to listen to, good party track. Good fun beat to hear, and so overall it still holds its value on this project. And then That Way, which might be another one of my favorite songs. I actually managed to not listen to it while it was a single and wait to hear it until it was on the album, and I am very thankful for that, because my first time hearing it, I very much loved that. I generally do that with projects that I know I'm going to listen to regardless. I skip the singles just so I can be even more excited to hear them in the way they are intended to be listened to. Of course, in this case, I guess it wouldn't have mattered, but I was just still very thankful, and that makes it even more of a positive towards this project. I love the sample of the old Backstreet Boys song. I think that's absolutely hilarious that came up in a 2020 rap song. But again, great way to end the overall album when you're including the bonus tracks, obviously. Now, just to break this down a little bit, like I said, I very much enjoyed it. I didn't care that much for the beginning of it. The first 3 tracks were okay, and then the next 3 are like, you know, just kind of, let's get through these so that we can get to the rest of the better album as a whole. I wish he would have been a little bit more experimental on those first few tracks, but overall it works out because by the end of the album he gets a lot more experimentation going. I like how he has different feels for different parts of the album. I think that's a great way to structure an album, and I think he hit another home run with this one. This album as a whole isn't as experimental as some of his previous albums, but I think it is a lot more cohesive, like I said, especially since he did section it off into 3 completely different sections. I think it's a very cohesive project, probably his most cohesive so far. I don't know if I'm willing to say it's his best full album to come out, but I very much enjoyed it. It's one of the few times that I can say I listened to an over hour long album, especially trap album, and was not bored throughout any of it. I was very excited the first time I listened to it. The second time I picked up on more things, the third time even more things, and every single time going forward I have enjoyed it just as much, if not more, than the previous time. I think he did a very good job here. Again, I wish he would have chosen better beats on that first section, just because they were very minimalistic and very boring, and that is the section where you would want the more intricate trap sounding beats. Now the rest of the album obviously lending itself to more experimentation because it is more of a non-rap feel, not as much rap with him doing more singing, but I just wish he would have had more out there trap beats, not just your generic beats. But again, that does not ruin the whole project, and that doesn't even ruin that section as a whole. It's still very enjoyable. Just if the whole album had been like that, I would have been very disappointed. But great job. For all the hype that came with this, he did a good job of living up to it. And overall, that's pretty much all I have to say about this one. I am going to go with a solid 8 out of 10. Very good job living up to the hype. I very much enjoyed this project, and I can't wait to see what he comes out with next. He now has a full list of trophies, home runs, whatever you want to call them, and I look forward to seeing what he comes out with next. He's on his way, if he's not already there, to being an A-list rapper, especially seeing how well this one has done commercially, selling-wise, streaming-wise, all that, and I'm very thankful that he is getting the recognition he deserves now, because he is a very good artist who puts out good work. That's all I have to say about this one. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Make sure to comment what your thoughts on this album were. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Make sure to share it so your friends can get in on the train here. And I appreciate y'all watching, and I will hit y'all up next time.